Well, good afternoon, everyone. This is the intro to our Alaska trip. We left the house a couple days ago. We are currently in the Badlands, working our way up, and this is the first place that we've actually stopped to do something on our way up. So, welcome to our Alaska 2025 trip. This is going to be our fourth time going to Alaska, third time in an RV, and this is going to be a blast. But one of our favorite trails is here in the Badlands, the Notch Trail. So we thought we'd stop here and go do a quick hike as we're slowly working our way up towards Canada. So let's go do the Notch Trail and then we'll continue on to Alaska.
Let's go.
Working our way to the ladder here on the Notch Trail, which is probably why we like this one, because it's kind of unique with the ladder. So we're working our way there. We made it to the ladder. Angel's about 2/3 of the way up. They've added something new, this little rubber thing along the edge here. We're going to try that and see how that goes, but we're working our way to the notch. All right, we made it to the notch. Beautiful view going down there, and we're early enough in the year. We are here by ourselves. It's absolutely beautiful.
And it's cool.
Cool and quiet. You gotta love going out early in the year before the busy season when it's not as peoply. What do you think, Ange? You like?
I agree. Very nice.
Okay.
My first post-New Zealand hike.
There you go. All right, let's head on back.
Let's go.
All right, there was a Notch Trail. Again, one of our favorite trails here in the Badlands. Just a quick in and out on our way up to Alaska. We're gonna go do one more trail here in the Badlands, and then we're gonna continue to head west tomorrow morning. So,
Let's go.
we just finished the Notch Trail, and now we're off to do the Medicine something and Castle Trail Loop.
Yes.
Medicine Bowl and Castle Trail Loop. It's supposed to be
Yes.
4 miles. So doing a little bit of playing.
Yeah, a little bit of playing. It's only
14-foot elevation gain.
Yes, so it should be just flat.
Yep. Let's go do it.
Let's go.
I don't know if that's why they call this Castle Trail, but that looks like a little castle.
Yes, it does.
Look at that. Kind of exciting. The trail is very well marked. See the red stake here, and they do line of sight. You can see another red stake way over there. That's where we're heading. So they have line of sight stakes. Very, very well marked. Other than that, you'd pretty much so get lost out here if you didn't have that, because there's not much.
There's a canyon you can't get it that would stop you.
There's Badland Canyons. Okay, we're doing the loop. We just did the Castle Trail portion of it, and we're getting ready to go do the Medicine Route Trail. Should be about 2 miles back to the truck. Well, we're still doing the Castle Trail Medicine Route Loop. We're on the Medicine Loop, or Medicine Route right now, and look what we just found.
I think they found us too.
Kind of exciting. We got some wildlife out here. All right, we just finished up the Castle Trail Medicine Route Loop. The Castle Trail section of it was 1.8, almost 1.9. Coming back was 2 point something or whatever. It came out to 4.01 altogether for the loop. So the Castle Trail version was much more view pretty. Coming back on the Medicine Route was just walking through the grasslands.
Other than...
Oh yeah, 4 deer.
We did get to see 4 deer
Yep.
on the...
We did see 4 deer.
Yeah, there's like a ravine there, and there were 4 deer down in the ravine, which was really nice.
So we did see some wildlife on the Medicine Route Loop.
Excuse me.
It was good. I'd do it again. Castle Trail was really exciting. So I mean, there were some really good views. You know, you see the trenches forming from 1 inch deep to 10 inch or 10 feet deep. It was kind of cool. So
Well, and this time of year, we have never done this one before, but when we're here in the past, it's so warm.
don't want to do it.
Yeah, but it's nice and cool and just sunshiny and beautiful.
Yep. So add it to your list.
Add it to your list.
So you can't go to the Badlands without stopping and getting your 5-cent coffee at Wall Drug and a maple flavored donut. I threw in a shake, but there's Angel and her 5-cent coffee
Yummy.
and her maple donut. Gotta go to Wild Drug when you're in the Badlands. Well,
Last year.
not a good way to start the trip. I was pulling out of the parking spot to go to the Badlands and hit a concrete block. Not good for the truck. Fortunately, I stopped right away and they had a tractor and were able to pull the concrete block. I had 30,000-pound straps. But hopefully everything's cool with the tire and the axle, and we're gonna go play in the Badlands. Good morning, everyone. Our second stop of our Alaska trip is Elkhorn Ridge Resort, which is where we had the Super C rally last year. And here is where we meet up with Dave, Cathy, and Stella. You can see Angel's petting Stella. So we've got Ben and Cathy in their 22 Seneca, us in our 18.5 Seneca, and we're on our way up to Alaska. So let's say hi.
Good morning.
Hey there, good morning.
Ben and Cathy, North Carolina, and we're met up here at Elkhorn and in South Dakota, and we're working our way up. Next stop is Teddy Roosevelt National Park, Great Falls, and then we cross into Canada.
That's it. We're ready.
Are
Let's
you
go.
excited?
We're ready.
It's an adventure.
Alaska 2025.
Alaska 2025.
Here we go.
So it was great to meet up, and let's start traveling north.
Let's do
go.
it. Let's do it.
Okay, our next stop is Theodore Roosevelt Badlands. Don't know how this wind is going to sound, but here we are. Theodore Roosevelt. Let me back up a little bit. There we go.
There you go.
There's everyone. So we're going to go see some wild Mustangs at Theodore Roosevelt National Park. Just one of the pullouts at Theodore, or as we like to call it, Teddy's Park. So while driving through Theodore Roosevelt National Park, we decided to check out the campground. And we noticed that from one of the campground spots, there was a trail down here to the Little Missouri. So we are going to go see the Little Missouri River. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, there's a bison up there too. Look at somewhere up there. There he is. There's lots of bison everywhere here.
There's your river, baby.
And there is the Little Missouri. We're going to go do a 15-minute hike called Wind Canyon Trail. And we're going to end up on that hill. Just another view of the Little Missouri here at Theodore National Park. Look at that. Got a little bit of sun over there on the far hills. Just absolutely gorgeous. One of Angel's favorite parks, and you obviously can see why. He got big horns.
He's got big horns.
There's some baby bison down there.
Okay, so we have all kinds of wild horses today. Look at this. They're all right here. So beautiful. Oh, you can even hear them nickering. Hanging out with us.
I can't exactly drive very far.
We're kind of We got horses in front of us.
So probably the last get out and walk around for Theodore Roosevelt National Park is the east entrance, old east entrance. The road no longer comes through here, but it's a 0.4 mile of a hike to come out to it, and you can see where it starts right there. So we are at the old east entrance. You can see the freeway right there. I was trying to find out when this entrance was abandoned, but you can see there's the old National Park Guard and the actual gate to come in, and you'd come into Theodore from right here. Really kind of cool that it's still standing. I'm gonna see if I can figure it out when I'll talk to a ranger and see if I can figure out when they stopped using this. But that's probably gonna wrap it up for Theodore.
Yep.
And tomorrow we drive off to Great Falls, and then from there we cross into Canada. So that's Theodore, part of our Alaska journey. What do you think, Ange?
Pretty awesome. One of my favorite parks. I love it. And we got to see so many of the wild mustangs this time. I mean, a couple different herds, which was really nice.
Yep.
And it's just beautiful. It looks like an old Western cowboy movie here.
It does. Okay. Next stop, Great Falls, then
Let's go.
Canada. Let's go. Okay, so we're wrapping up Theodore Roosevelt National Park.
Yes.
Teddy's Park, as we like to call it. That is actually his cabin back there. It was moved here from 7 miles away, but that is his actual cabin, not a replica like a lot of the places do. And to answer the question I had earlier on when they stopped using the old East Gate, it was 1968 they stopped using it. That's when they turned this into a loop instead of just an in and out park. So, but anyhow, that wraps up for this for Teddy's National Park here. From here we're heading off to Great Falls tomorrow morning for 2 nights, and then we head up to Canada. So what's your favorite thing about Teddy's Park besides all the wild mustangs?
Beside all the wild mustangs, probably I like the geology of the area.
The coal veins.
Yeah, well, the coal veins are cool, but the geology itself is beautiful because it looks like, to me, an old cowboy movie, and it just, I mean, you can just kind of picture it, a cowboy down in the ravines, and I don't know, it's just really a cool place.
It is. Really cool place. You definitely need to add this one to your list.
Yes.
Anyhow, this is just going to be part of the video of Alaska. I'm probably going to do up to Banff on one video, and then we'll do Banff, Yoho, and Jasper on another video, and we'll just work our way up to Alaska that way. So.
Exactly.
All right, well, that wraps up this one. Off to Canada.
Okay, let's go.
So we left Theodore Roosevelt National Park. We are now at a harvest host in a place called Grey Cliff. It's a cool little pull-throughs they have set up for us. We're all leveled up. There's Ben and Cathy. And look at those views. Unfortunately, we do have some freeway noise, but look at those snow-covered mountains. But we're set up at a harvest host, and we will be in Great Falls tomorrow.
Yes, we will.
So the harvest host we are at is called Great Cliff Mill, and they actually have water out there and the mill going, and if you look, you can see a little bit of flour coming out as it continues to rotate around. Come on, give me some flour. There we go. There's a little bit. All from the water falling off onto the big wheel out there. So we left the harvest host down there in Great Cliff, which is a great harvest host. Absolutely loved it. And we are now in Great Falls, Montana. And we are heading to Canada tomorrow. So Great Falls is awesome. It's a cool little town. We did all our provisioning up of everything we need to get provisioned up. We're getting ready to make some s'mores. So the main thing why we stopped in Great Falls is both Ben and I and Angel, we carry, and you can't carry through Canada. There is a company called Wolf, what is it, Cathy, Wolfhawk? Wolfhawk up in Tok that they're an FFL and they will receive your guns. So we stopped here and we just shipped them up to Alaska, and that way when we get to Alaska we will have our guns back. So that's why we're spending time here in Great Falls, and tomorrow morning we head off to Canada.
Woohoo!
Y'all ready to cross the border?
Ready
Let's
to cross
go.
the border.
Got rid of all your citrus and fruit?
Yes.
Everything I needed to get rid of.
illegal
Any-
paraphernalia.
Any weapons of any sort?
Just bear spray, sir, and I'll show that at the border.
And no other weapons, no citrus, no fruits.
No eggs.
All right, you're good to go.
Here we go.
So we're just gonna have some s'mores. You see them over there on the table. We're gonna have some s'mores and head off to Canada tomorrow.
Yes, we are.
You ready to go to Canada?
Let's go.
Okay, leaving Montana, coming into Alberta. Fun, fun, on our way up to Alaska. All right, so we're sitting in line trying to get into Alberta. They got 2 lanes open and it's not moving very fast. But I'm sure we will eventually get through and head on up to Banff for a few days.
And for fun.
Banff. All right, we're through customs and we're at Alberta welcome sign, pulling over, waiting for Ben and Cathy. I gotta tell you, that was the most intense questioning we've ever had going into Canada. I mean, wow. We were there for probably 5 minutes and he was asking question after question after question. But anyhow, we're in. We're at the roadside pullout, 1 kilometer north of the border crossing, waiting on Ben and Cathy. Hi, Ben and Cathy made it through customs too.
Yay!
Yay, we're here. We're here on our way up.
Here we go.
All right, we're gonna wrap up video 1 of our Alaska 2025 trip. As y'all know, this is our 4th time going to Alaska, 3rd time in an RV. And we met up with some buddies, Ben and Cathy. So we left on April 29th and we harvest hosted, and then we went to the Badlands, and then from the Badlands we went to Spearfish Elkhorn Ranch, and that's where we met up with Ben and Cathy.
Yes.
Then from there we went up to Theodore
Roosevelt.
National Park for a couple of days. Another harvest host and a couple of days in Great Falls to drop the guns off and have them shipped off to Alaska. We'll pick them up there in Tok. And then we went into Canada. Did a harvest host at a casino
Yes, we did.
up in Alberta.
Last night.
That was our first video. We put together a little bit on that. Next stop is going to be Banff, Yoho, and Jasper. We'll probably do that as a whole video, because then from there we'll head up to Dawson Creek for Milepost 0. So,
Yes.
so we're going to be doing Banff, Yoho, and Jasper in the next video on our way up to Alaska. So,
All right.
so far it's been going great. We've had a couple of technical problems, but nothing that we haven't been able to overcome and work through. So,
Exactly.
what do you think so far?
I think it's been great so far.
I mean, you can't go wrong with Badlands and Theodore. So,
Exactly.
okay, well let's head on up to Banff.
Let's go.